Wagwan, my loves, is Knowledge Butterfly. Today is a new day. Right now is all that we have. I just wanted to quickly say that just because one, that's affirming it for myself. I like to say certain things because that's me, reprogramming myself. But anywho's, as always, sending you guys peace, blessings, love, and abundance out into the ether, all the way out there to where, there is no matter or no physical form. So this video is gonna be or should be really quick. I actually did a little not a little, but I did a creative visualization exercise today, this AM. I every day when I get up, the new day, I make sure that I lay in the bed and I allow myself to feel my higher being, my higher self, the silence, the complete peace, and just feel the energy vibrating and moving through myself. I like to lie there for at least 20 minutes, before I start my day. However, today, because it's raining and I wound up sleeping a little longer, when I got up, I looked at the time. I was like, okay, let me go ahead and take care of these kitty babies and get them fed or whatever, because, they have to eat. So I went ahead and took care of them and got their litter box and everything in order. And then I went back upstairs. I still had my bonnet on my head and everything, but I went back upstairs and I laid it down. Not to go back to sleep, but just to lay down and do my creative visualization. So that's the thing, like, we have this thing where we get into this condition where we feel like, okay, when I get up, I have to do A, B, C, D. Like, you have these certain steps laid out that you feel like you have to do. And sometimes it's okay to switch it up. Like, it's okay. So today was a switch up day. And so I got back into bed and so I'll lay on my back. And normally I'll just like listen to whatever's going on. Today I did something different. Not only did I do it at a different time, I also added isochronic tones to it. And so I put the earbuds in. And with isochronic tones, you don't actually have to utilize the earbuds. It's binaural beats that you have to utilize the earbuds. And that's because it is actually sending two different tones in each, or hertz frequency in each ear. So your left ear has a certain frequency, your right ear has a certain frequency, and then when it meets your brain, you subtract the frequencies, and then you get the actual number that your brain is, the waves that the brain waves that are being sent to your brain, your subconscious mind. And the way that works is actually binaural beats and isochronic tones. They're putting your brain into a certain a certain state. So, you do have alpha, you have delta, you have alpha, beta, delta, and theta. I think those are the four. And so the theta stage is where you can get into hypnosis. So it'll put you into the theta state. And when you're in the theta state, because you're more in tune with your subconscious mind and you've cut off your conscious mind, you're able to receive these tones. So it's a 2-hour it's a 2-hour audio recording on YouTube, and I listened to about 42 minutes. So that was a very long creative visualization that I did today. I didn't plan any specific time. Like I said, this was a new process. So I just lied there on my back, and I have a pillow underneath my head. Now, I still have, because I like to sleep with crystals under my pillow every night. And I had rose quartz and rhodonite, and then pyrite. I had pyrite in the middle, and I had rhodonite on one side and rose quartz on the other side. So I still just kept those under the pillow, and then I laid down and had my hands laying down right beside me with my palms facing up. And my feet I had close to each other, and just had my feet in a relaxed state, so that it doesn't feel like I'm doing too much with them. And I went ahead and put the headphones in there, even though like I said, with isochronic tones, you do not need them. But because I'm not alone, I have the cats, and one of the cats, he likes to be very vocal, very, very vocal. I decided to put the headphones in my ears. So I'm laying there, and I'm allowing myself to just do my breathing. So I'm aware of my breathing, conscious of my breathing while I'm listening. I'm not even for certain how long it took for me to like get into the state where I just felt calm, peaceful, and relaxed. However, once I know that I felt that and I wasn't like consciously thinking about things, that's when I started to do some creative visualization. So at first, I won't get into the things that I visualize because that defeats the purpose to talk about it now when I'm not in that state. However, I did two visualizations. The first visualization that I did, and the thing about visualizing, you need to not only see it, you need to tap into all of your five senses. And it's crazy as I'm talking about this, like my fingers feel like I'm in that state again. So you need to not only see it, you need to feel it. You need to, if you're eating something, you need to be able to taste it. You need to be able to smell that environment. You need to, you need to, all the five senses, you need to be able to experience it, hear things, all of that. So that's the part that I'm working on getting more in tune with. So as I was lying there and I was visualizing it, I was visualizing myself in my visualization being able to touch. And then, I was seeing it. And then I was feeling the feeling I would feel with that happening. And I did the same thing with my second visualization, which was even longer. And all of my sensory, because what you got to think about is your brain, your senses, your five senses, the physical senses all come from your brain. So right now I'm not thinking of the part of the brain. I think it's the let me not say that because I don't want to give incorrect information, because I just recently started studying the brain, because it's very important to know how your brain works, to know how you work. We're always studying all these other things, and how does a car work? How does a computer work? How does a phone work? But fuck, do you know how your own brain works? That is the where I am now, studying everything about this physical body, and most importantly my subconscious mind, like tapping into my subconscious mind, because that is my true self and your true self as well. Where was I? Oh yeah, so your five senses all come from everything comes from your brain, like your sight, everything comes from your brain, right? So anywho's, I was tapping into my senses. So I definitely know that I got into the field because I actually started to cry. I felt the happiness and the emotions behind what was going on, and what I was visualizing. And I like to, I'm trying to think right now that I actually do the touch. I did do the touch, and I know for sure in one of them I was touching. And, but I mainly focused on the emotions in it. And each time, just try to tap into more of those senses until you get all five senses in your visualization. That's what makes it more real, because the feeling, we feel in the now. You don't feel in the past. You don't feel in the future. We bring the past into the now. We bring the future into the now. So it is important to feel it as if it's happening right now. And the way that it came to me when I was in my visualization, my higher self told me that I was turning it into a movie, like how they utilize movies to program us. I was, so if you think about a movie, you notice that they have the opening credits, and they'll have a certain type of music playing during the opening credits, all right? So they're programming you at that point when the opening credits are coming in. Then when certain scenes come in, if they want you to feel fear, then they have the music that'll make you feel fear. If they want you to feel love and happiness, they'll have music that makes you feel love and happiness or joy. If they want you to feel sadness, then they'll play music that play at your heart. They call it playing at your heartstrings for a reason. So they're playing at your heartstrings. So that is what you're doing when you, that's the key to creative visualization. You are creating a movie, your own movie. That's why they utilize movies, and that's why Hollywood is so big, and it's such a what word am I looking for? It's such a big deal, or the stars get paid so much. It's such a, what word am I looking for right now? It's not coming to me. Why it's so popular? Why so many people want to be actors and actresses? Why so many people like buy into Hollywood and go spend money on going to the movies and all these things? It is because one of the cats, he went back out. outside. It's raining, but he wanted to be out there. I just let him be. But yeah, it's why it's so popular, is because they know how to tap into the subconscious mind. And when you can tap into the subconscious mind, you are causing the masses, mainly the melanated population of people, to create the reality that you want them to create. So this is basically you utilizing that technique for yourself and for the benefit of yourself versus letting someone else control you. And that's what my higher self told me when I was actually going through my visualization. I was like, wow, this feels so fucking real. Like this, it feels so real. So that's why creative visualization, you can actually do that 3 times a day, just like eating. Like they say you're supposed to take a meal 3 times a day. That's your subconscious. You're feeding your subconscious 3 times a day. So starting today, I'm actually going to get into the feeding my subconscious 3 times a day, because I'm reprogramming myself to my subconscious mind, which is my true self and my true mind. I'm reprogramming myself in order to be beneficial in my favor, to be in my favor and not in someone else's story, not in what someone else wants me to create. So really, that's all I really wanted to share with you guys. It's just that when you do your creative visualizations, in order for it to be more potent, in order for it to gain more momentum, and for you to truly see the benefit in it, you have to tap into your 5 senses when you're doing your creative visualization. It's not enough for you just to think of something you want. Because if that was the case, then everybody would have the what the fuck they want. We could just go around here, thinking up anything. It is when you are in that theta state, when you are below your conscious mind, when you're in the underworld, your subconscious mind is tapping into that underworld, the darkness, and it is shining a light in the darkness on the things that you want to bring to fruition. And it is also playing it out as a movie. Because think about your subconscious. The reason why they are able to quote unquote brainwash us and program us is because the subconscious mind works in images. It works in imagery and symbolism. So that's why why people do sigils, because of that symbol. You're programming your subconscious mind to look at this symbol that you took from writing out a sentence, and now you turn this sentence into a sigil, into a symbol. So now you can program your subconscious mind to now think that way, to now be function in the way that you want it to function. You are utilizing it as what it truly is like a computer. So you're now turning those images into your own movie, and now you're showing your subconscious images. Now you're playing a movie for your subconscious, and the binaural beats or the isochronic tones is the music, is the soundtrack that you're utilizing. However, it's on the frequency, just like they use in the movie theaters, it's on the frequency to program your subconscious mind, versus you trying to block out all of the noises around you. That's why if you do live in a household with people, it's definitely important. However, I really see the benefit in doing it when I'm doing my creative visualization. To each his own. Everybody finds their own thing. But, my channel is for me to share things that I felt that worked the best for me. Even if what I'm working on hasn't come into manifestation yet, I still felt it. So I'm telling you that this is the most I've felt since the very first time that I've done my creative visualization exercise. And I know that it's something that 3 times a day is I'm making it a routine, because it takes time to reprogram your subconscious mind. And the more that you do it, the more it becomes habitual, and then the program actually sticks to your subconscious mind. So you can start to more and more and more and more to silence your conscious mind that's always speaking and talking to you. But I'm going to end the video on this note, my loves. I know that this information will be beneficial for the ones who it resonates with. So there's no need for me to even say that. If it resonates with you, go ahead and hit like on this video. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel as well, so that you can continue to get some techniques that I'm learning as I'm going through my spiritual journey to enlightenment, which is tapping into your true self. Basically, that's what spiritual journey to enlightenment is. That's what enlightenment is. It is tapping into your true self, your Christos, your Christ consciousness. It's not enough just to be conscious. You have to, the point of it is not just to, okay, I'm conscious, so I'm done. The point of it is to go from being conscious. The consciousness is just your eye opening up so that you can perceive and see the world as it truly is. So you can start to see that this is all an illusion that you've been living in, because this was programming that was placed into your brain from your experiences from childhood, from movies and everything else, that they've been feeding us. However, the enlightenment is where you get to the point where your higher self is leading the way. Your soul is guiding you and leading the way. It's basically like, it reminds me of the Bible verse where it says, or I may not remember the Bible verse per se, but I remember the picture because my mom had a picture and I think my grandmother had a picture in our house. But it was a picture of just some footsteps in the sand on the beach, and that water was, it was the ocean as well, the sea. And you only saw one set of footprints, and those footprints represented God, which is your higher self. Because your higher self, it was supposedly you and God walking on a beach. But you only saw one set of footprints, and that was because it was God's footprints. And the reason why it was only God's footprints is because God was carrying you, meaning God was carrying your human self through this existence. That is the goal. The goal is to get to the point where your higher self is driving the vehicle, not your humanity, not your ego. Because the humanity is the animalistic side. Everybody keeps saying, be more human. No, that's the problem with the world now. Everybody is being fucking human. And the human is the animalistic side, is the self-identification side. That's why you have people wanting to claim, it's like gangs and shit. People want to claim, this side, that side, and the other side. But, and that's what people do with religion. Oh, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim. And that's why you got the two battling, even though you come from the same source. It's just that one group feels that their truth is the absolute and only truth. And that's where the problem comes in, because now you're not being open and receptive to know, first and foremost, your shit came from the same source. From the same source. All of religions came from the same fucking source. So when you accept that, you're able to accept other people and not judge their way of living or their way of thinking. Because you overstand, you enter and you overstand that it comes from the same source. And then that's me. See how I'm going on, and I was in the video. However, that's why the creative visualization is so important, because you are now you're giving your subconscious the tools it needs in order to take the wheel in a more productive way, so that you're not getting the same shit that you've been getting. Okay. Anywho's, like I said, I'm going to end the video. So guys, follow me on my Instagram as well, which is Knowledge Butterfly. I also have a Facebook page, Knowledge Butterfly at Empress Rockstar. So I appreciate you guys so much. I send you love out into the ether. That's my heartbeat. Peace.